This is Tales of Swordfall.
Episode 1, The First Course.
I'm debating as whether Lenny should be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go follow our ordinance," and then like see all the clouds and then panic all over again.
You could.
Oh
Nah,
Nah.
I think he's gonna just happily, keep carving away.
Yep.
I was gonna say, I'm only doing the spell once, so good luck to you.
So, a few hours go by. The sun, rises very high and then starts sinking again. By the time. Well, Ordnance, you see this. The clouds go away after another mountain range, and you see just a sea of green tree tops just all over. They're this it's not a vibrant green, it's a very dark, just healthy tree green. There's a lot of evergreen type trees up there, just peeking out, each one trying to grab at the sun. And you see in the distance a small clearing amongst all these trees. And Gearbox points. That's the base camp.
About how far out do I think we are? Enough to start a landing process, or not quite?
Give me another intelligence check.
Okay.
Yeah, you could tell that, doing some starting procedures wouldn't be too bad right now.
Alright, I'm trying to think if I remember the starting procedures for landing. Pretty sure I pull this lever.
And you pull it, and there's some kind of hissing noise that happens. And Gearbox looks over. Ah, you're starting the checks for the landing, huh?
Yeah, I want to make sure we get down safe.
Yeah, well, we'll get down there safe, unless something springs out of the trees.
So Ordnance looks out to the trees then, intently.
Are you actively on the lookout for stuff?
Yes.
Okay, give me a perception check.
I have a question. Can I do a survival or nature check to see if Lenny remembers what some of the more dangerous creatures of the Mundark Forest?
Sure.
Which would you prefer?
Let's do survival.
And
14.
You want perception or investigation?
Perception.
Oh, all right.
That's not bad. 15 is a good roll. 14 for survival is good too. Well, the Mondark Forest, some of the more dangerous things are, if you're in the right part, wyverns. They fly. Also, there are hippogriffs about. Sometimes griffins, depending on the time of season. But some of the more dangerous things are actually on the ground, like roving bands of goblins, and there's rumors that there are hags about, and the owlbears, and what else is in there? Oh yeah, rumors of this ancient crocodile god, just weird things like that.
Well, Lenny just starts listing all this stuff off to Gadby.
Gadby looks like he's not paying attention, like he's just strumming his lute to make sure that it's in tune, but he's listening.
Oh, and then there was this one time we thought we heard a hag, but we're not sure if it was a hag. It didn't sound very nice though, so we buggered off pretty quick. But at least we got some of the lemon weed. And another time we saw some goblins, and they were making some rude gestures at each other.
Goblins will do that.
And then oh, we also found a man who was missing his head. But I think he was okay.
You don't know how appropriate that one is.
Well, considering once again, Lenny has no concept of death, so
Yeah.
he just saw a headless man, so he's like, I think he was okay.
Yeah, he might have been okay. And yeah, ordnance. You're looking up. You do see some trees move off in the distance. It's nowhere close to be too concerned about. And then you notice, like, way off in the distance, there's like a giant lake in the middle of this forest. Well, not the middle, but it's a noticeable lake off in the distance in this forest. And after 10-15 minutes, you get closer to the clearing. You notice it's a very sizable clearing. And with your perception, you notice that it looks like people have actually taken out trees from this area to make it a little bit bigger. So a very intentional landing place. And this is when the procedures to start landing really happening.
All right. I guess if he goes to reach for anything, I'm going to try and grab it before him.
Okay, cool. Let's do dexterity things.
Okay.
Just roll me a dexterity check, and I'll see if you get it before him. Give
16.
me 3 of them.
1, 12, and 16.
Okay.
On one occasion, he just wanted to hold hands.
With who?
Sorry.
With Gearbox.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so he starts reaching for one, and you get it before him.
I got it.
Okay. And, like, as you're, like, pulling that lever, turning a knob, he starts doing one, and then, like, something just clicks in your mind that you should grab something else, and you catch it before he does, and he looks really surprised that, like, somehow you knew this procedure. But then again, why is he doubting you? You've totally been on airships before.
Yeah, this is my most experience.
And Gearbox just he nods, he approves. Yeah, with a little work, you could be flying one of these on your own in like months.
I think at that he just kind of stares off, pondering the idea.
Adventures of Ordnance in the Sky.
Featuring his co-pilot, Lenny. She's just like blindfolded, strapped to the chair. Have we landed yet?
But still has like the magnificent scarf.
Oh no.
Yeah, so landing is a little bumpy.
But that immediately makes Lenny clench back to that post.
Oh yeah, like this is one of those, if you're not used to it, you're probably all clenching your teeth. And everything stops with a sudden thud. And like you can definitely tell that there's some landing apparatuses out, and the whole thing kind of like bounces like it's on springs. And once everything stops, the back part of the ship actually opens up with a pneumatic hissing noise, and the gearbox comes out, and he starts pushing a lot of the stuff out into the field.
That wasn't too bad of a cart ride.
You all right, Lenny?
I'll be fine. It's just the bumpiness scared me for a moment is all.
Oh, good.
Yeah, big guy, can you help me with this cargo here? You probably want to,
Oh.
have it at your camp.
Okay. Lenny goes over to help.
Yep. He's just setting it in the field, like a little bit of ways from the ship, but he's definitely like, you know, pushing it out, making sure it's like top right, and like going back and pushing more. He's pretty strong for a little guy.
You'd say Ordnance walks out the back and kind of grabs a crate as he's heading out.
Yeah. Ordnance, you probably realize after looking at the stuff that you probably ordered, this is way more stuff than anybody really ever needs.
Right. Would the crates be easy enough to open? Or not necessarily?
You might have to use a pry bar, but or
That's too
crowbar.
much work then.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a quick glance in on the way out sort of thing, but into the one that he was holding.
Yeah, actually, no, they're probably easy enough to like just kind of open up. They're probably actually like steamer trunks or something like that.
All right, I think he'd look in and see what all of this was.
Yeah, some of it's like wrapped packages of like fancy dried nuts.
Okay.
And like
Yeah, be shit.
yeah, like it's a trunk full of like dried nuts, dried dates, just a little bit too fancy of like dried rations. Like it's high in jerky that's in like one of these packages.
Right. Does it feel like there? Well, is there anything in it that feels like I would take note of as being useful?
Well, the food's pretty useful.
Right. I mean, okay.
What was the most useless thing that Gadby actually ordered?
Everything that he ordered was like stuff that would be useful, just like high-end stuff though. Like nothing was
It's kind of like an ornate tent instead of just a normal tent.
yeah. But as soon as he's like he got the bag of holding from the guy, right? Andy?
Yeah, you would have had that on you.
Yeah. So as soon as he sees you all unpacking, he goes, "Nope, nope, stop. 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 Stop what you're doing. Stop. Leave that alone."
Lenny's got like his hand straight into like the dried nuts and like a whole like just clenching a bunch of it. Oh,
It goes in the bag so we can take it with us. We can't lug these crates. That's not possible.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering what you were gonna do with this stuff.
It goes in the bag so we can take it with us.
Well,
Lenny slowly starts like pulling his claw out of the crate, and he's got like a handful of the dried nuts.
Gadby gives him like a swat on the back of the hand.
Yeah.
Well, it's out here in the field, so it's kind of your problem now. See you.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
See you in about a week.
Mm-hmm.
And he closes up the back and closes all the doors, and he takes off again. And
Lenny watches all this and then points at Gadby. You lied to me.
How did I lie to you?
You told me we were on a cart.
I did tell you. But you didn't freak out, did you?
Lenny's shoulders slump again.
Did I not tell you that I was going to make it so you didn't freak out? Did I really lie to you? Or did I only half tell the truth to you?
Lenny just snorts.
Yeah, I thought so. And then he starts putting things, like he ties up the thing of nuts and he puts that in the bag of holding. He takes the rest of the rations, put that in the bag of holding. He will see how heavy are the tents?
Depending how big of tents you actually ordered.
Given that he knows he would probably get the shit beaten out of him if he only did one tent, there was a tent for everybody.
Yeah, they're
Not like small pup tents that are individual.
yeah.
So they're not huge. They're the sort that you would put you would take it up to pieces and it would be rolled up on top of a backpack type thing.
Yeah, they're probably only like a few pounds. I mean, easy
Yeah.
enough to like lift and put into a bag. You notice that there are two weird things about this bag holding. Every time you open it up, there's a burst of cold air, and it's cold when you put your hand inside.
Mm-hmm.
And that it doesn't seem to be getting any heavier or any lighter. It almost doesn't feel like it weighs anything.
Lenny shoves his hand straight into the bag of the holding when he sees a puff of cold. Oh, do you think he's got any ice cream in there? What?
Space. Remember? Space.
Lenny's like shoulder deep into the bag now.
Get the
Your arms
pulls it away.
really cold.
It's really cold in there. That's kind of nice. It sometimes get hot in this forest, so that feels good. He just starts leaning on the bag and
Please,
Gadby.
I'm trying to actually put things together. Do you mind getting the fuck out of the bag?
Oh, that's not very good language, sir.
Well, neither is you leaning into me and invading my personal space. I told you no when you tried to hug me, so I'm telling you no, don't come so close to me without my permission.
Lenny pulls his arm out and raises the same arm as to ask a question.
Yeah, he just goes back to putting stuff in the bag and ignoring him.
What's personal space?
He's ignoring him. He's just, I gotta get this stuff together. I gotta get it all nice and tidy, because I don't trust these people.
So, in the meantime, what's Ordnance doing?
Probably just sifting through more of the crates and such before Gadby gets to him to see if there's something that fits more his style. Find his pork rinds.
Yeah, I mean, there is the chest full of, like, the pork rinds and, like, more sensible, down-to-earth rations and stuff. Yeah, they even threw in, like, a tinder kit, for fires.
I think he'd find a way to affix that sort of thing to himself, and maybe that bedroll.
Uh-huh. So, like,
That's
doing the more...
really about it.
Yeah, doing the more bat packing, we're gonna rough it type of thing.
Yes. Yep.
Awesome.
Lenny does the same because it makes the most sense to him.
Yeah, carry your own stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lenny then will use his woodcarver's tool and go towards one of the closest trees and start marking it. Kind of like a trail mark.
Okay. Awesome. Give me a perception check as you're going up to the edge of this clearing.
Nope, thought I clicked it. Oh, there
18.
we go.
Yep. Yeah, you notice that there is a bunch of activity that's happening all around you. You even see a pair of eyes at least once as you're coming up. Little
Hello, my
shiny-
name's Lenny.
Ah! And there's
God.
wrestling. And suddenly, like, silence.
Is the edge of the wood line where he's at close enough that it would be reasonable for us to potentially hear?
Yes, that you heard some creature screaming back at him.
No, I didn't. I don't think with an 8 I would have.
Is this a
It was-
perception?
It was
or-
actually loud enough and audible enough that, yeah,
Oh, okay.
you all heard something scream.
Okay.
My name's Lenny. I've been here before. Have you seen George? He's gonna try and like get a better look to who's making the noise.
And you just hear these little voices just kind of screaming.
Oh, I think that's those goblin fellows. They're pretty rude.
Thank you for listening to Tales of Swordfall. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe.